Are you living your life through survival patterns? In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the latest insight into trauma recovery. And if you got any nuggets of gold from this video, please give it a like, comment below what you got from it, and share it with your loved ones who need to hear this. So what are survival patterns and how do they impact the way we live our life? Survival patterns have recently come to me this year because I've been guided to look into them as I start working with private clients and also within myself, my own journey with survival. And so survival patterns are unhealed, inherited ancestral traumas that we have taken on, and we've become the byproduct of it in the way we react and respond to life and what life throws at us. And it all comes from fear. Fear of not feeling like we belong, fear of not feeling enough, fear of not being welcome in this 3D world, fear of not being validated, not being seen, heard and felt, fear of not feeling safe to be in the here and now. And so what I have connected with the survival patterns is this. When I look into them, whether it's for myself or for my clients, it all starts in utero and as a baby, the first two childhood traumas. And if you want to learn more about this, you can check out my free webinar, Overcome the Impacts of Childhood Traumas in 3 months, which you can find in my video description. So the first childhood trauma is the first 9 months in utero, and the fetus takes on the mum's emotions as a shock absorber. So perhaps mum doesn't want the baby and she's in shock that she's pregnant, or perhaps mum does want the baby and she's going through a lot of emotions, perhaps grieving a loss of a family member or feeling abandoned by her lover and having to raise this baby on her own. Whatever it may be, the fetus takes it on and it runs through our nervous system because we didn't have the awareness to look into that particular trauma, how that's impacting the way we show up in our physical body, the way we show up in our nervous system, the way we show up for life. I've come across many people who have this trauma. They feel scattered. They feel that they lack focus and clarity, even though they can read energy quite well in people and within themselves. However, they struggle to be in their physical body. They have a tendency to dissociate because it doesn't feel safe to be in this 3D world because they didn't feel safe in mum's womb. And so they feel the jitters in their nerve lines. They feel unsettled and ungrounded. And so it's really important to look into this trauma and start working layers of it that has keep us stuck in our mental armor by intellectualizing how things work, especially when it comes to the healing journey. But we don't need to intellectualize it. We need to feel it for it to be completely healed and embodied from within. And so when I tune into a client and also within myself, I see the traumas in utero, and I could see that some are experiencing terror of being in mum's womb. They didn't want to be there. They wanted to be in a different womb, or perhaps they wanted to go back to the spirit world. Another client I saw was that she didn't feel safe in mum's womb and she needed that healthy feminine presence to really be held in the womb so she can feel safe in the feminine and with other feminine beings. And then this moves on to childhood trauma number 2. I worked on this client and I saw her survival patterns when she was a baby. In the first 18 months of life, she was given up for adoption. And so she is now being triggered with her current situation in fear of losing her parents. And they are her fostered parents. And so she has the jitters, can't sleep, and put them first. And so the survival pattern that's running through her is that she doesn't feel safe who she will become when they are gone. The loss of losing the people that she loves so dearly, that has raised her and taken care of her, but she will feel like she's left behind. And so this abandonment trauma is so deeply ingrained, we lose ourselves. And so we're surviving and trying to hold on to our parents for dear life to give us this sense of comfort and safety, knowing that they're going to be okay, I'm going to be okay. And so when we unlearn these survival patterns, we no longer experience this intense overwhelm of anxiety, sleepless nights, and dissociating what we're feeling in our body. We then are able to see and feel ourselves clearly from a filtered lens of unhealed and unresolved traumas. We are able to then fully show up for life and to just be in our presence without the need of anyone or anything, because it finally feels safe to be in the here and now. It finally feels safe to be in our physical bodies. It finally feels safe to be in our physical environment. And so when we heal unresolved childhood traumas and ancestral traumas, and you can also look into dark past lives, that is quite a karmic level of survival patterns, we no longer run from that frequency of fear. We are tuning into our higher self from source. And it has this direct connection of that unconditional love without the energetic interferences of false light, guides, entities, and so forth that's coming through into our spiritual channel and masking themselves as these light beings. We don't really know who they are. And so I always like to tune into my higher self through source, because I know from that channel it is not tampered, it is pure, it is just the thing that I need. So when you are ready to dive deep in shifting, disintegrating, and releasing these survival patterns, you truly become a completely different person. And I say this because I see it and I feel it. And I am embodying more and more of who I really am, with less energetic interferences of these survival patterns. That money is no longer a hook for me to survive. That commitment in a relationship is no longer a thing that I need to chase anymore. That death is no longer the thing that scares me anymore. By being in the here and now, this is where we can thrive from sustenance, not from survival from our past or where we'll be in the future. So if you are ready to dive deeper and to start clearing these survival patterns, then you might be interested in attending my upcoming trauma recovery based workshops and retreats. I'm running one on conscious relationships for singles and couples, magnetic woman, and transforming trauma. Check out the links in the video description to learn more, to book a free clarity call, or to book your spot. You can also join me for my women's online healing circle if you like to clear the survival patterns that you're carrying in your womb that has been passed down from our mothers, and so we can rise in our divine feminine presence that is our own expression of it, and not to something that we need to follow through a celebrity or through glamorized spiritual healers and models. So if you're ready for this container, check out the link in the video description to learn more or to book your spot. If you prefer to work with me one-to-one, then you can join me for Find Yourself in Trust. It is a 3-month premium high-level container. It's not for the faint-hearted. You need to watch my free webinar to have a better understanding how I operate with my clients for a one-to-one immersion. And then you can book a free clarity call to see and discuss how this is right for you or not, and what would be the best direction for you moving forward. If you prefer face-to-face, you can also work with me through my half-day or full-day one-to-one tailored trauma recovery retreat, just you and me. And we'll be focusing on your most prioritized, immediate traumatic timelines that needs to be disintegrated and released for you to come back into wholeness, into integration with who you really are, the light that's in your heart. So there you have it, my love. You decide. Do you want to thrive from a place of sustenance or from survival?